Yeah, so hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry coming to hang out with you guys on this Friday night. Guys, I'm coming to add, I have a new idea that I want to introduce to you all tonight. It's been a little bit since I have come to hang out. Guys, I apologize, it usually works out that way. I just have to I guess, just say that, with life and everything, sometimes we get busy and all that, and um, things pop up, this, that, and the third, and that's kind of what happens a lot. So I never really come out and, make a promise for the most part as to when I'm going to be able to go live or when I'm going to make a video or anything like that. But guys, I want to let you guys know that I'm trying my best to show up for you guys and to show up for myself, because guys, you don't know how you guys really just don't even know how much I enjoy going live, and how much I enjoy, I don't know, uploading to my channel. Okay. And it's so funny because the very first time I decided to go live, I was so nervous to go live, right? And I've said that so many different times, um, on my channel. For the most part, when I make videos now, the idea is I'm just going live because I love going live now. Now it seems like sometimes, like, I will have different times where I'll have like a break in between, when I have a chance to go live, if that makes sense. Because, different things pop up, and, we all know that we have to take care of everything that goes on in our lives. Like, you have to have a balance between, if you're a creator, you know what I'm talking about. If you are a content creator, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead. At one point, they were saying on TikTok that if you encouraged others to go live, then it would help you out. So I'm going to go ahead right now and just tell anybody, that's listening, that if you can hear the sound of my voice, if you are a content creator and maybe you don't feel all that comfortable about going live, I'm just giving you a little bit of encouragement, because again, the first time I went live, I was just so nervous to do it, and now I enjoy doing it. So I just want to encourage you if you are a content creator. But I also say that, um, again, there are different times where I will get busy, and then I don't have a chance to go live and make videos as much as I want to, as much as I would like to make videos or go live. It's all about what's going on. And with that being said, sometimes when I do have a chance to go live, when I first start going live, I start talking right off from the bat. Like right now, I'm a little bit, off, maybe a little bit nervous, but at the same time, as I get into talking more, that kind of melts away and everything just works out. So I just wanted to say that. But guys, I want to introduce a new idea tonight, but and I'm going to be telling you what that idea is. But at the same time, there's something that I have to do, and I hope that you'll just kind of hang in here with me as I do this. While I'm doing this, basically, guys, I'm going to add my own, I'm going to add my Cash App to my lives, and this is going to be my first time doing that. So if you kind of just bear with me, that's what I'm trying to figure out how to do. I want to go ahead and say, I do see that someone has joined me. I want to say what's up, James. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to be telling you guys what this is all about. You saw it in the title or whatever, but again, I'm going to be adding my Cash App, and this is going to be the first time that I'm going to be doing this, so I'm a little bit confused. But basically, guys, my Cash App is Shadow Girl Sherry. Okay, so that's my Cash App. I'm trying to figure out right now how to add that in here. But I want to also let you guys know the idea as to what I'm doing tonight, when this new thing that I'm going to be adding. And Guys, the idea is very, very casual. I wanted to introduce this idea tonight. Now, with the new idea that I'm going to be, that I am introducing tonight, here on my channel, is the idea that, guys, if you are into spirituality and things like that, you may already know, that, okay, tonight, okay, Fridays align with the energy of Venus. Okay, Venus is a planet, but Venus is also the goddess of love. Okay, and I've got it here. There is Venus and there's Aphrodite. Okay, and I'll be reading here in just a little bit the difference between the two, but really they are basically the same, one and the same. Okay, so let me read that right now. Okay, Venus versus Aphrodite. Okay, and guys, I don't have like this big long script to work with tonight. I'll even say this, my channel is called Sunset Songs. As for tonight, I don't even have a sunset song. Now, let me quickly say, now what is a sunset song? My channel, again, is called Sunset Songs. And with that being said, what is a sunset song? If you've watched any of my other videos or tuned into any of my other lives, then most likely you already know what a sunset song is. Okay, being that my channel is called Sunset Songs, I have something that is called a sunset song. What is a sunset song? Okay, so basically, before I go live or make a video or whatever like that, I basically already have like an idea as to what I'm going to be talking about. I have a subject that I'm going to be talking about. And the idea of a sunset song is, I came up with this idea for every episode, whatever subject that I'm going to be talking about, I stop and I could say, you know, to my higher self, my spirit guides, or if you don't even want to look at it that way, I just think in my mind, okay, give me a song, or what song could I, you know, add to this subject? What song could I pick? I try to come up with a song that is tailored around whatever the subject matter is that I'm going to be talking about in what I'll call that particular episode to my channel, Sunset Songs. So tonight, I've had this idea in my mind for a little bit that I wanted to start doing this random thing on Friday nights, and I'm going to explain that here in just a little bit. But for whatever reason, I really didn't. I wanted to get started on the idea and introduce it. It's not like I want to stay on for a long, long time tonight, but the idea is, I wanted to get started and introduce the idea. So I really didn't come up with a sunset song. Now, I did have a dream the other night. I don't want to go too far into this, but I had a dream the other night, and it's so crazy. You guys are probably going to think this is funny. Now, I want to thank everybody that's joined me. I see a Cooks for Tide has joined me. I see a Michael Midwest has joined me. I see a Paul has joined me. I see a Earls 55 AOL has joined me. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I have an idea that I want to introduce, but I got to get to it. But first off, I've told you guys what a sunset song is, and I'll go ahead and say right now, if there is a song that you have, that you're thinking about right now, or a song that maybe you to work earlier, if you know, it's Friday, so maybe today was your last day of work before the weekend. I hope so. And you're going to have your weekend free or whatever, and you're here for this Friday night to have, you know, relax and have fun and hang out with me, Shadow Girl Sherry. And I want to thank you guys again so much for doing that. You could be doing so many other different things. If there is a song that is playing in your heart or in your mind right now, or if you just want to leave in the comments what your favorite song is, or a song that you listen to on your way to work or whatever, you just want to listen, just mention or leave in the comments just a random song that you like. I would appreciate that. I'll read it, and I'll go and, you know, I'll let you know, obviously, if I know what the song is or what I think about it, whatever. But my idea is my channel obviously isn't just about me and my journey with the law of attraction. Again, I hope I already stated, may have already said that my channel is called Sunset Songs, and it's all about my personal journey with the law of attraction. And the idea is, I include music in with the journey, my personal journey with the law of attraction, because I do believe that, music is really, to me, it's very, very magical. It can change the way you feel. If you want to, um, you want to, gather some energy up, and because you need to clean your house, or there's just something that you need to get done. Like if you play an upbeat song, it's going to help you out. If you want to work out, play an upbeat song, it's going to help you out. If you want to calm down because it's a Friday night and you just want to chill and relax, or you have some romantic company coming over or anything like that, then of course, obviously, you might want to play a slow, like rhythmic, romantic love song. There's music for every type of situation. You get what I'm saying? So I'll say that. But and I don't want to get off subject because maybe that's what I'm about to do. But guys, you get what I'm saying. I mean, I love music, and I think most people love music, okay? And but basically, guys, don't want to get, off the subject matter or whatever. What I wanted to do tonight is, the idea for tonight is, I want to introduce this idea to you guys. Whenever there's going to be, I'm always looking for different ways that I can come and, have an excuse to come and hang out with you guys. And it's not like every time when I want to go live that, for the most part, I like work with a script. Like I will go and come up with the sunset song, and, that's tailored around the subject matter that I'm talking about. And what I do with that, the sunset song, now I've gotten to the point where I go and I look up information about the song, how the song, what was the inspiration behind the song? How did the artist come up with the song? What was the inspiration? How did the artist or the group come up with the song? What's the story behind it? How did it all come together? How did the group meet? How did they come together? Like their birthdays, just random information about the group and the song and everything, and just bring it all together. And then obviously it's wrapped into whatever the subject matter is that I'm going to be talking about. Okay. And I'll go ahead and say that I already said that my channel, again, is about the law of attraction. Now, some people look at the law of attraction and they look at, look at it as witchcraft. Now, do I do kind of witchy things? Yes. I've got to admit, I've always been into kind of witchy things. Like when Halloween comes around, I'm going to be the one that's going to watch The Craft, or Practical Magic is a little, but to me, I watched it last Halloween, and it was like a refresher course on it or whatever. But I'm more so for The Craft, but I do like Practical Magic. Okay, so I hope you get what I'm saying. I'll say this as well, and I don't want to use up so much time talking about all this stuff. I do believe in God, definitely. But my idea is I do have a respect for the fact that the world's a big place, and some people may call that energy God. And my idea is I just have a respect for the fact that maybe if you grew up in like a different family, then, maybe God you may not call that energy God, or that presence, or whatever you want to call it. You may call it, I don't know, Allah, or there's lots of different words, okay, or ideas. I don't want to make anything sound disrespectful, but I believe in God, but you could also call it source energy. I just think that altogether, I'm going to try to make everybody feel as comfortable as possible when you join. Like when you come and you subscribe, or you just come and you just join me for a live or whatever. I'm hoping you'll subscribe and all that, and join me and follow and all that different stuff. But I'm going to try to make everybody feel as comfortable as possible and just talk about the law of attraction. There will be times that, because guys, the way I look at it, when I go to church, there's been so many different times where the word manifestation has been used. Okay. And the word manifestation has been used, and the more I look into it, I kind of see where there is a meeting with all of them there with religion. You could talk about witchcraft in a way. There's a connection to me. I see it with all of it. I don't want to elaborate on that too much because that's just the way I see it. Because again, I've said it already. I've been in church and when I first got into the law of attraction and reading the books like The Secret and another book that I had gotten into at one point was the book with Abraham Hicks, The Law of Attraction and Asking It Will Be Given. Okay, guys, and certain words are used. Asking it is given. I have been in church and I've heard those words, asking it is given. There's a way that you have to go to God and ask him. So altogether, I just see this kind of connection. And with that being said, I'm just going to be talking about all that stuff. And my idea is, I don't want to make it like an argument. I want it to be like a debate. Like everybody's just going to kind of, have their thoughts but we're all coming together and we can make this work. Okay. So, and if you think about witchcraft and you feel like that's like evil, like I've heard, there are Christian witches. Okay. If you don't want to look at it that way, and if you just think about witchcraft, my idea also to introduce the idea to you and make you feel more comfortable, if this will make you feel more comfortable, is which way do you want to go? Okay, when you wake up in the morning, which way do you want to go? Do you choose to live a life where you're looking at life as in, it's simply magical that you woke up this morning because you didn't have to? Like, you could call it a blessing. I know some people in the spiritual community don't like to think about, instead of blessing, then they think of blissing. I won't go into all that, but just trying to make it work all together, guys, and make everybody feel comfortable. My idea is, which way do you want to go? When you wake up in the morning, do you look at it as, okay, I woke up on the right side of the bed or the wrong side of the bed, or who cares what side I woke up on, because basically I woke up in the first place, and that's just wonderful. It's magical, maybe. And do you choose to walk down a path where you're looking at life as I just woke up and that's it? Or is in that it's mundane? Or do you look at life as it's just, we're not saying that everything has to be like hocus pocus and all that kind of thing. I'm not necessarily saying that, because some people look at that and say, oh, well, you're crazy because you think you can do things that can't be done, whatever. But just to look at life in a magical way. Like, you woke up this morning. You didn't have to wake up. Not everybody did. So just work with the energy and the magic of the day. You woke up, and you might wake up and say thank you. You might say a little bit of a prayer or whatever, but you woke up. Is that magical or is that mundane? Like, which way do you want to go? Do you want to walk down a path where everything's, boring, or it's just wonderful? Okay. And the idea is, with the law of attraction, is which way do you want to go? Okay. The idea of the law of attraction is, with positive thoughts, positive thinking, whatever way you choose to live and the way you choose to see things, if you're doing positive things, you're hanging out with positive people, you're taking positive actions toward your goals, then it's so said that through the law of attraction, you would be attracting the same as such back into your life, and that would be the positive. On the other hand, if you are thinking you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, doing negative things, hanging out with people that are, Nancy negative and Debbie Downer, all that, then you are attracting the same, and that would be the negative. And that's not to say that, we don't have family members or friends that may, and even ourselves, you might get in a little bit of a negative thought, or, see, a little bit of a negative spin or whatever. But the idea is to spin back in the other direction. It is a world of duality, but at the same time, there is good things, there are bad things. But the idea is when something negative comes our way, The idea is to transmute it into something positive and to make it work. Like there's got to be some reason as to why, maybe something happened. You could take it, if you have a problem, then the idea is, what do you want to do with the problem? Well, you want to find the solution. Don't focus on the problem. Okay, so the law of attraction. All right, now I'm still trying to figure out how to add my, again, guys, to add my Cash App to this. This will be my first time, mentioning a Cash App. And I want you guys to know that whenever you, leave a little something, no matter what it is, no matter how much, whatever, you're helping to expand the channel. Like if you enjoy my content, I just have so many different things that I want to bring. I go by the name Shadow Girl Sherry, but there is an idea of bringing things to light with that, okay? And there are so many things so many thoughts and ideas that I have in my mind that I want to bring to light and to life. And some of those things, it takes money to live. And if you just want to, donate a little something, leave a little something to help my channel, it's greatly appreciated. So, but either way, if you don't, that's fine. Just come and join my live. Come and join me. And the idea is just to relax and have fun. It's a Friday night. I'm going to go ahead and explain to you what the subject really is going to be about tonight. If you are, you're into, the spiritual community and things like that, you most likely already know that every day of the week each day of the week aligns with different things. Like, okay, we have the different chakras, like the chakras, right? Okay, Monday aligns with a chakra. Okay, and I think I've heard in some places where Mondays or the root chakra could align with Monday, or it could align with Saturday. But I look at Monday as the day for the root chakra, okay, because it's the first day of the week. And, my idea is to start the week. It's the beginning. It's the start of the week. So that's the root. This is what we're building from. So, but basically every day of the week aligns with a different chakra. Each day of the week aligns with a different planet. I hope you get what I'm saying. But basically when it comes to Fridays align with the energy of Venus. Okay. Venus and Aphrodite-like energy. And I don't have a lot of notes to read from tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and quickly just kind of say to you guys what, I have a couple of notes here as to the idea of Venus and Aphrodite energy and the alignment, the way Venus energy and Aphrodite energy aligns with Fridays, like why, all that. Okay. And at the same time, I'm still trying to add, my Cash App, but let me go ahead again. My Cash App is Shadow Girl Sherry. Okay. That's my Cash App, but I'm going to try my best to add it tonight, but either way, I've told you anyway. So, again, I'll be very, very happy if you donate, because when you do that, you're just letting me know that you're enjoying my channel, and you're helping with the growth of my channel. I have so many different ideas that I want to bring to life, to light, and to life. And I'm just so excited to bring these ideas to you. And, every little bit helps. So with that being said, let me read a little bit about the Venus and Aphrodite kind of alignment with Friday. Okay. Now, there is a clear distinction between Venus and Aphrodite, and I'm going to read these ideas to you. Okay. Venus is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and prosperity, while Aphrodite is her Greek would it be a counterpart, or what's the right word? Does anybody in the chat have the right word? They're basically the same, but one is Greek and one is Roman. Okay, so Venus is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and prosperity, while Aphrodite is the Greek goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and passion. Okay, these energies, these goddesses align with Fridays. Fridays align with the energy of Venus and the planet Venus. They correspond, okay? And let me read a little bit more from my notes here. They are the exact same archetype, just adapted by different ancient empires. Because astrologers use the Roman names for the planets, we look at the planet Venus. We look at the planet Venus for attraction, self-love, and beauty. Okay? Why Friday is perfect for self-care. Okay? Okay. Why Friday is perfect for self-care. The word Friday actually derives from Old Norse and Latin roots, meaning Venus's day. Okay? The cosmic connection. Friday is literally ruled by Venus. Okay? And this is my idea. Now I'm going to introduce the idea that this new idea that I want to introduce for Friday nights. Okay? Now, you know, guys, I'm always trying to have different reasons or excuses, whatever, to come and hang out with you guys, right? And there are going to be times where I'm going to have, you know, time where I'm going to go and have information. I'm going to have a sunset song. I'm going to have a subject, everything laid out, notes and everything. And I'm going to come and bring it to you guys, you know, deliver the idea to you guys. Recently, we just had a new moon in Cancer. And I believe it may have been on Monday. I think it may have been Monday, but I was busy, so I didn't get to come and hang out with you guys for the new moon in Cancer. And I do, you know, I wanted to have a video, have a live for the new moon in Cancer because I have Cancer placements in my birth chart. Okay, so Cancer energy is special to me, but I didn't get to do that because I was busy and I had other things that on my plate that I had to take care of. You know, obviously, you know, we have family, we have friends, we have things that we, you know, got to balance things out. So with that being said, there are going to be times where I'm going to want to come and just have an excuse to come and hang out with you guys. And I might not have this big subject matter to work with. And with that being said, I'm going to try to have something that I can work with maybe each night of the week, or every night of the week. I want to have something to where I could just come out and say, okay, I know that I can't go live all the time. I can't go live every night, but my idea is I'm definitely trying to come and show up for you guys and show up for myself because I love my channel so much. I'm trying to show up as much as I can, but it's on the way, you know, things play out and the way things work out, you know, what pops up, whatever. But I'm always trying to reach out to you guys one way or the other. And that might be just in the idea that within the course of a day, if you've watched any of my other videos, you already know that I have a little bit of what I call like a traveling altar. What it is, and it's going right now. It is it's basically like a soup pot or tureen, whatever. Very kind of old fashioned. It has two handles that, you know, it can be carried by, with, you know, handled with, you know, the handles. Okay. There is a ladle that it has. So, you know, if it was like, you know, we were all joined together and we were having like this wonderful soup or something, then we could all like dip and, you know, have a bowl and enjoy this together. If you wanted to forget about the ladle, or I don't know, if you know what fondue is, you know, you can have like a cheese fondue or a chocolate fondue or whatever. But the idea is to come together and enjoy this together. But at this point, I'd like to get to the point where I am, you know, sometimes having like a cooking night or, you know, breakfast or something like that. Maybe we're making like a I've told you guys beforehand, and everybody might, have some ingredients or whatever, and we're going to come together and have fun that way and make a recipe, but I'm not quite there yet. But that's just another idea. I just haven't got to that yet. The idea is just to come and have fun with you guys and hang out, and talk about music and a little bit of everything, and the law of attraction and all that. But every day, if I can, I try to sneak in some time where I try to work with this traveling altar. Now, how do I do that? I burn a candle. I have a candle that each time I go live, and even when I'm not going live, like during the day, I might burn this candle, or I might like burn incense, and walk around through my house or whatever, because it has handles. So I can kind of take it around with me, throughout the day, whatever I'm doing. But the idea is, even when I'm not with you guys, I'm always thinking about you guys. I'm always, praying for you guys, hoping the best for you guys, putting out the best for you guys. I always have you in my thoughts. I always have my channel in my thoughts, like what's going to be the next topic, what are we going to discuss, what's going to be the song, come together and have some fun. And with that being said, I'm coming up, as I'm coming up with my, each episode, and I come up with a sunset song, I now am building a playlist on my channel now here on TikTok, I go under, you can find me under Sherry Shadow Closet, Shadow Girl Sherry now, but my main channel again is called Sunset Songs. Here on TikTok, I try to, obviously on TikTok, once you go over an hour with a live, it's not, you didn't just tick and talk, you've went over an hour. So once you go over an hour, you can't upload the full live in its entirety to TikTok. So with that being said, I'll take a little clip from the live and upload that here on TikTok. And then I take the live in its entirety and I upload that over to my channel, Sunset Songs. And eventually I want to get to the point where when I'm going live, when I'm streaming on TikTok, I'm also going live on YouTube as well, because I got to wake my YouTube channel up. So, and, give it, wake it up, give it life, whatever. And, I know that the big thing is to go live, but I got to get the two joined up together and make that happen. I just haven't got there yet. So with that being said, I do see a Sophia has joined me. Thank you so much, Sophia, for joining me tonight. Thank you guys so much, everybody that's joining me tonight. But again, when you go over my channel, Sunset Songs, on YouTube, I am building a playlist. So I'm adding, as I'm coming up with the lives and I have a sunset song, each time I'm a little bit behind, but I got to go over, look at the videos, find out, look at the video, find out what song was that I picked for that particular episode and tie it into the playlist. So I'm building a bit of a playlist, and the idea is whenever you're going, through the course of your day, if you want to feel like, you're hanging out with me or you're hanging out with the rest of the community, a way to do that is to just go and play the playlist over on my channel, Sunset Songs. Because again, I'm building with every episode. I got to catch up. I got to play catch up. But I've already started the playlist and I'm going to keep adding to it. Every time I go live and I have a song, I'm going to add that song over to the playlist, and you can listen to it whenever and, work your magic with it. Like whatever you're doing, whatever you feel, if you're cleaning or you're cooking dinner or something and you want to feel like you're hanging out with me or you're, hanging out with the community, whatever, go ahead and listen to the playlist. So, I wanted to say that, but I've explained to you what the whole idea of, the traveling altar, that with every day I try, now it doesn't happen every day, but I try to light the candle. And if I don't get to light the candle and kind of work with it and think about my channel and think about you guys, whatever, the one thing that I find myself doing a lot is lighting incense. So when I light the incense, the idea is to kind of clear, like try my best, get to the point where, open a window, let the smoke out. And the idea is when you open the window, you're exhaling, like the negativity is leaving out of your house, right? If you have a problem, when you open the window, you let the incense out. There's so many answers out there, to whatever problem. There's so many solutions to it out there. So the idea is you open the window. This is what I think of anyway. When I open that window, the negative idea of, oh, I don't have an answer to this problem or whatever, that's going out the window. Or even if I've said a prayer or whatever, it's going out the window and into the universe. So the idea is there's so many answers. There's wonderful things that are going on, out in the world, right? So my idea is, as the air comes back in through the window, my idea is the answers can come as well. Okay, so I hope you get what I'm saying. But the negativity, whatever, that leaves out, and the positive comes in. All right. And in the spiritual community, that it's often said that you burn an incense anyway, and the idea is you're getting rid of negative energy. And my idea: open the window, the negative goes out, the positive comes in, the answers come in, right? And it could be when the incense goes out, there's so many people in the world. So, it could be the idea that maybe you're going to go to work the next day, and it could be a colleague that comes up to you and you're talking or whatever, and they randomly just come out and start talking about something that you were praying about, and they're giving you the answer. Like, the universe wants to deliver the answer to you. That's my idea. Or God, whatever you go by, if you get what I'm saying. So that's my idea. And I try to work with that, at least if I don't get to light the candle, then I try to work with incense. That's the easier thing that I work with, is the incense. And I'm always thinking about you guys. I'm always thinking about the channel, and I'm always listening to music. Okay. So with that being said, again, I'm going to say it again. If you have like a song that's playing in your mind or in your heart right now, and you want to leave it here in the comments, I would really, really appreciate it, because it's not just about music that I like. I also want you to feel comfortable, because I like all different types of music. So just, give me a try. A song and you mention it to me. It might be a sunset song one night. If I don't know the song, I'll go and take a listen to it. And hey, you're helping me to build the playlist, right? I'm always wanting to hear new music. So, because it's always being made. But anyhow, guys, so what is my idea about tonight? And I see a rose has joined me, and that is wonderful, because, roses align with the energy of Venus and Aphrodite energy. Okay. And I will also say roses align with the energy of Venus and Aphrodite energy. Okay. The goddesses of love and beauty and luxury and passion and all that. Roses are the flower that has the highest frequency. And if you want to, you don't understand what I mean, then you can go ahead and look it up for yourself. But a rose, when it comes to flowers, roses vibrate at the highest frequency. And with that being said, there are, if you've ever heard of like the Bach flower remedies or different things like that, you could go and get, I think it's the wild rose, and put it in your water or your tea or whatever, and just think about that. Meditate over that and think. You just took in the energy of a rose, and the flower that has the highest frequency of all the flowers, because they all have a different frequency, but roses have the highest frequency. So guys, I hope you'll take this idea and work with it, because I work with it. I love roses, and this idea that Rose has joined me, and I want to thank you so much, Rose, for joining me tonight. I want to thank all you guys, everybody that's joining me tonight. And from right there, I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys my idea of Friday nights. Okay. Now, again, I've already said that Fridays align with the energy of Venus, the planet Venus. Fridays align with the idea of, okay, Venus is a planet, but it's also the goddess, okay, and Aphrodite, okay. All this goes together. And with that being said, there may be different times that I might not have, a subject matter or something that I have laid out to talk about, every night of the week. But if I want to come and hang out with you guys for a Friday night, and it's just going to be a Friday night hangout, and I don't have any subject matter, I don't have anything to talk about, I don't have a song, maybe I will have a song, maybe sometimes I may come and I don't have a song, whatever. But I just randomly just want to have an excuse or something to work with on a Friday night or Friday during the day, whatever, anytime on a Friday. I could use this idea and come and hang out with you guys, whether I have a sunset song or I have a subject. Because what is the subject going to be? This new idea that I want to introduce tonight is the idea of Friday night mud masks. Okay. And the idea is, if you don't have anything else that you're doing on a Friday night, and just imagine it, you've worked all week. Okay. Friday night comes, if you don't have anywhere you're going out for Friday night and you just want somewhere to go to just kind of chill and hang out and relax and forget about the week, whatever, and you just want to come and have a little bit of like a pajama party, if you want to say, if I could put it that way. You don't have anything else to do and you just want to have somewhere quiet and peaceful to hang out. And my idea is, whenever I can, if I don't have a subject to talk about on a Friday night, then the one thing that I can turn to that's going to be my thing that I'm going to come back to for Friday nights is going to be a Friday night mud mask. Again, Fridays are the day that you could do any type of a beauty ritual. You could, I don't know, wash your hair, whatever. My big thing, I like to wash, you can wash your hair any day of the week, obviously. But I align, the real treatment and, really getting down to the real nitty and gritty when it comes to like washing my hair, conditioning it, and making it like a real ritual. My big day that I like to do that is on Sunday, because Sundays, it's right before the work week starts, and it is the day that aligns with the crown chakra. So a crown, that's your head. And if you look at yourself as a king or a queen, or you, even in the tarot, okay, if you think about a queen, if you're in the tarot cards, you think about a king or a queen. Anytime you have a king or a queen in the tarot, whatever, you're going to have a crown that's going to be placed on the top of, of your head, of their head, okay, or your head. So there is a crown chakra, and the day that goes along with the crown chakra is Sunday. So that's the day that I look at as, okay, this is going to be the day I'm going to wash my hair, I'm going to condition it, I'm really going to meditate, and I'm going to massage and make it a whole ritual. That's the day that I really try to do it, is on a Sunday. So with that being said, it's a thing of beauty and all that, but my idea is, I try to do something when I can that aligns with each day of the week. Okay, and I already said it, like yesterday, Thursdays align with the energy of Jupiter. Jupiter is the planet that deals with expansion. Every day of the week works with a different planet, different energies and all that. But when it comes to Fridays, the energy that's very, very intense and heightened, is Venus energy, Aphrodite energy. It's a good time to work with that energy. And I've already said what is, different things that you could do. Obviously, you could paint your nails, whatever you look at as like luxurious and beautiful and all that different stuff. But my idea when it comes to Friday nights, if I don't have any other subject matter to talk about, and I want to come and hang out with you guys and have an excuse to hang out with you guys, because I'm always looking for an excuse to come and hang out with you guys. But if it's Friday night, I have nothing else to talk about. There's no new moon. There's no full moon. There's no anything that I've thought of, whatever. My fallback plan is to fall back on the idea of Friday night mud masks. Okay. And the idea is, guys, I go by the name Shadow Girl Sherry. Now, with that being said, I don't appear in my videos. You don't know exactly what I'd look like, at least not yet. I'm building up to that, and there's so many different reasons. There's different reasons as to why, you know, obviously, if you know anything about shadow work, the more I started to upload videos and different things like that. At first, I had already named my channel, but I hadn't named myself. I didn't go by Shadow Girl or anything like that when I first started my channel. But the more I started uploading videos, for whatever reason, I knew that I wasn't going to appear in my videos right away. So I started calling myself Shadow Girl. Then I couldn't help that, you know, I wanted to make it personal. You don't know what I look like, whatever. But this is my channel. So I'm like, how can I go and have a channel and the channel has a name and everything, and then I'm calling myself Shadow Girl, and then I'm not going to personalize it and add the name Sherry. So with that being said, then I started going by the name Shadow Girl Sherry. The more that I kept, you know, mentioning myself and calling myself Shadow Girl Sherry, videos about, obviously the algorithm, you know, started to, you know, pick up on that energy and that idea, and it started sending me videos about shadow work. Okay. And at that point, when I first started making my videos, I didn't know any idea about what shadow work was. I had never heard of it, anything, but I had already named myself Shadow Girl. And then after a while, again, I left from calling myself just Shadow Girl to calling myself Shadow Girl Sherry, because my name is Sherry. And then the algorithm picks up on that energy. And I'll go ahead and quickly say the first video that I started noticing, videos that started popping up for me in my feed because I called myself Shadow Girl, was, I don't know if you guys know who Shira7 is. Shira7's videos, I kept noticing videos by, you know, this particular, you know, woman. And, you know, I just kept being more drawn to it because the videos were, you know, drawing themselves or aligning themselves with me and her face and everything. And I'm like, okay, who is this person that keeps popping up in my feed? And finally, I, you know, started listening to some of her videos. You know, I may not agree with everything, but she has said some things that, you know, had some videos that really has brought a lot of, you know, brought some things to light for me. Okay, I'll say that. And you know, she's got different books and different things like that. Her ideas leveling up and all that. And you know, some of her ideas, you know, I look at it as very positive. Now, I won't go into all that. I won't go into that because that's not what I'm talking about tonight. But the idea is, you know, she was talking about shadow work and, you know, working with dark energy and all that. And obviously, if you're, you know, calling yourself Shadow Girl, then, you know, there's a message in that. And with that being said, then that's when I started finding out what shadow work was. I'd already called myself Shadow Girl and then Shadow Girl Sherry, and I didn't even know what shadow work was. So with that being said, to me, that's a big message that, hey, you need to do some shadow work. And what is shadow work? Shadow work, the more I have, you know, looked up information about it, shadow work is basically taking the parts of yourself that, you know, are kind of subconscious or deeper layers of yourself and working through it. Working through your traumas, your fears. You know, there's been some people that say that it's very, very powerful. People, you know, could look at it as it's negative, but it's a thing that brings about a lot of transformation, and it's very, very powerful. Okay. And, a lot of people have said that it's about healing, and it's about healing like your inner child. Okay. It's about healing your inner child. And that makes a lot of sense to me. So I wanted to mention that. And I also want to mention that right now you've tuned into a live where you are listening to the voice. You're listening to a voice, but you don't know what I look like. So with that being said, I just want to make the suggestion that might mean that maybe you need to do some shadow work. Just consider it. It may not mean that. Maybe you're just into the law of attraction. Or hey, maybe you're just coming to have Friday night mud mask. But just think about the idea of, maybe shadow work is powerful. I'll just give you that idea. So if you want to work with it, I've introduced the idea. I just kind of have a feeling that if you're tuning into this live right now, you already know what shadow work is. I just kind of have a feeling it's something that's very, it's mentioned a lot in like the spiritual community and all that, law of attraction and all that. It's something to work with. So anyhow, guys, I am still trying to figure out, and look, let me see if oh boy, guys, I'm still trying to figure out how to add my Cash App. That's crazy. I'm still trying to figure out how to add my Cash App. And I just haven't figured it out yet, but I'm trying to add it. But I have a Cash App. My Cash App is, Shadow Girl Sherry. If you want to donate to the channel and help with the growth of the channel, I'm just going to mention it. You don't have to, obviously. I would also like to mention, if you're enjoying this live or anything like that, I would appreciate it if you would leave me some hearts, leave me a comment, let me know how I'm doing, let me know how you're feeling. Do you have a song that you have that's playing in your mind right now? Whatever you want to leave here in the comments, even if you wanted to leave something negative, it's a comment, right? And it's a critique and you're just letting me know what's up. I'm not encouraging it, but a comment's a comment, and it still leads me deeper into the algorithm. So, but again, let's see here. Trying to figure out, still haven't figured out how to add this Cash App. This is terrible. Let me again, I'm just randomly talking, guys. The thing about Friday nights is the new thing for me. I've already said it, just a little bit ago, that whenever I want to come in and hang out with you guys, and it's just a Friday night. And right now, guys, I just looked at my the time right now. It is 10:10. And with that being said, if you're watching this right now, you probably already know what like an angel number or spirit number, whatever is. Basically, I'm going to tell you it's 10:10 right now. That's two numbers repeated, back to back, side to side, whatever way you want to look at it. I just want we are all gathered together right now as a community, as a collective. And my channel obviously is about manifestation, all that. I want you to think about something right now that you are manifesting. And I want you to feel, how would you feel right now is if whatever this thing is that you are manifesting was already yours, because that's the idea of the law of attraction. The feeling is very, very important. If you can feel in this moment right now, like what would it feel like if you're looking for the love of your life? Feel right now, like how happy and overjoyed would you be right now if you were holding that person on this Friday night? Okay. Now, I'm going to say it right now. Even if you're looking for this person and you meet this person, don't let this person keep you from coming to hang out with me on Friday nights. Fridays are about the energy of self-love and beauty and all that. And you know what comes with self-love and beauty and all that. The more you love yourself, the more likely it is, if you are, you're not in a relationship, or you don't have a loving partner or whatever. My idea is the more that you love yourself, the more self-love you have, it's going to radiate outwards. So, it's going to radiate outwards. And I definitely feel like people are drawn to, like, if you feel good about yourself, there are going to be people that are going to want to hang around you just for that, because, everybody wants to feel good about themselves, right? And do we want to hang around people that, make us feel bad, or they're being negative and things like that? I don't know why you would want to. Okay. And there's been times in my life where I've actually, you feel comfortable if you're going through a bad situation. Oh, well, I'll just go and hang out with somebody that they're going through something negative. And, but things build off of each other. If you get what I'm saying, like, My idea is if you're in a bad mood or you're feeling bad, don't go and knock on the door of somebody that's going to make you feel worse. Go and knock on, or, obviously before you go and show up at somebody's house, call and be respectful, and let them know, can I come over today or whatever? Can I come over to talk or whatever? Or, I know talking on the phone is old fashioned, whatever, but, you know, text somebody that's going to make you feel better. Somebody that's going to try to uplift you. If you're feeling down, reach out to somebody that's going to try to uplift you, not somebody that's going to make you feel more down in the dumps than what you already feel, right? And so my idea is when you have self-love and you feel good about yourself, it radiates out. And you are going to be drawing that kind of energy back towards you. So you're more likely, if you're not in a loving relationship and that's what you want, you should start out with self-love. Okay? And definitely, when it comes to like Friday night, Friday night, to me, the Friday night hangout, the mud mask and different things that, I'm doing tonight, you're giving yourself some self-love. But either way, guys, I was talking about that a little bit ago. It was 10:10. It's now 10:14. But the idea with the law of attraction is when when you are really feeling like you feel that overjoyed feeling, like what would you feel like if you had this wonderful partner in your life? What would you feel like if you were driving that car that you really, really want? What would you feel like if you were moving in, like you're moving into the house Monday, or you're already in the house right now, that your dream home? You want to feel that right now. And by feeling that feeling, you're aligning yourself with that energy. And it's so said through the law of attraction that it is attracting to you. It's already yours. Just feel like it's already yours. And basically the universe wants to give you the desires of your heart. And when you start to get on that frequency, what it's going to do is the universe, you're going to be more aligned with people. You may not have the date. You may not have the love. That person may not be in your life, but the universe might bring somebody your way that knows this person that's perfect for you. Okay? You might be invited to a party or a get together where this person's at. But the idea is to get in that alignment, and the universe wants to align you with that. That's what I want to share with you. But guys, I'm going to quickly say it. Even when you find these things, when you find this love and you're happy and everything and whatever, don't forget about Shadow Girl Sherry and coming to hang out for Friday Night Mud Mask. Okay? And just the idea of Friday and mud mask, clay mask, whatever. I go by the name Shadow Girl Sherry. You don't know what I look like. But the idea is to come on a Friday night. I'm not going to say I'm going to do it every Friday night. There might be some Friday nights where I have a subject that I'm talking about that has nothing to do with a mud mask, okay? But then if I want to hang out with you guys and I have nothing else to talk about, then that's when you're going to come on a Friday night and you're going to see, Friday Night Mud Mask. Friday Night Mud Mask. And even here in the scene, like the setup that I've got that you guys are looking at right now, you see there is a mud mask. And, it's the jar. And it has like the brush that you would, brush this stuff on, the mask on your face, the clay or the mud or whatever on your face with. The mud mask is black. I go by the name Shadow Girl Sherry. So, okay. So guys, I want to ask you quickly tonight, what is one word that would describe the mood? What's the mood that you feel right now? What are you feeling right now? I just want to get you guys to kind of talk a little bit. Like, tell me how you're feeling tonight. What was your day like? It's not just about the sunset. The day starts with the sun and we work our way down to the sunset. Did you have a good day? Is there something that happened in your day that's wonderful? If you could leave in the comments so we can all feel that happiness with you. If you had a little bit of confusion, something that, got on your nerves, you could leave that in the comments too, because the idea is we're all trying to uplift each other. This is an uplifting community. For the most part, the sunset songs that I pick, they're going to be uplifting. There may be songs that, sometimes may not be uplifting, but then at the same time, there's a subject that I'm going to be talking about with it as well. So we're always kind of learning and growing together. So, but guys, just the idea that I wanted to get started tonight was Friday Night Mud Mask. If I don't have anything else to talk about on a Friday night, and I want to come and hang out with you guys, then my go-to thing is going to be, okay, it's Friday Night Mud Masks, right? And you see the mud mask, the jar, here in the scene. The mud mask is black because I think about it. I look at it as, shadow work and things like that. There's a lot of energy in the color black, like all the colors. If you took the rainbow, you took all the colors of the rainbow, all the colors of a Crayola box, whatever, you put them all together. The color you're going to end up with is black. Okay. And that might kind of put you in the idea of shadow work, because when you work with that energy, that darkness, something is going to come to light. Okay. So it's positive. All right, so that is one of the reasons why I kind of, I thought, okay, when I come up with this idea, okay, we're going to have the mud mask itself, the clay is going to be black, because we're just working with that shadowy like energy, and it really is a beautiful thing. So you see that, you see a cup of tea here, obviously you see the moon, you see a candle, I have some crystals here for you to look at and think about. Being that, this is Friday, I've got the rose quartz here that you can see. It's the pink one that aligns with the energy of Venus. I've also got amethyst to work with, very, very high vibrational. But I just wanted to introduce that idea of Friday night mud masks. And right now, again, I'm going to mention it because I'm trying to figure out how to add my Cash App to this, to this scene right here. And it's not to say, oh, well, it's just if you want to, help out my channel. I have so many different ideas that I want to bring to light with you guys. So many different things that I want to introduce to you guys, that I want to, bring to light and bring to life. And every little thing that you donate, whatever that you send in my Cash App, it's adding to the growth of the channel. So that's why I am adding a Cash App. But I'm trying to figure out how to do it, because guys, Shadow Girl Sherry, am not I'm not the best when it comes to technology and all that, and it's just the way it is. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it. But my Cash App is Shadow Girl Sherry, if you want to donate to my Cash App. And whatever you donate, whatever, is very, very much appreciated. Even if you just want to, send me some hearts here as, a comment, yeah, it's encouraging, and that's wonderful too. So, and it's just helping me out. And basically what you are doing when you do that, you are letting the algorithm pick up on the energy, and the algorithm is going to pick up on it, and it's going to reach out farther. If you look at it as an aura, really, it's going to extend out farther. And this is, if you are enjoying my channel, if you're enjoying the sound of my voice, if you want to, Friday night, the idea of Friday night mud masks, it sounds like relaxing to you or whatever, to you, and you want the idea to reach out to other people so the community can grow, and we can, have Friday night mud masks, or, other people are going to come and join, and they're going to add to the playlist on my channel, Sunset Songs. Whenever you choose to leave a comment, share, all those different things, you're making that happen. And basically, you're lighting my candle. Okay? The candle here is lit. I want to say that the very first time I went live, I'll just to say it, the very first time I went live, I was so nervous to go live. And I want to say what's up to everybody. I see I'm probably going to announce this wrong, Alan Herod has joined me. If I pronounced it wrong, I do apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. I see a Carl Page 1 has joined me. Thank you so much for joining me. I see a Jojo Lux has joined me. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on this Friday night. I see a Gary Coffee has joined me. Thank you so much for joining me. Wow, the coffee, that makes me think about, I didn't have coffee today. I had an energy drink today. That's one thing about me. I try to work with positive energy and all that, but one thing about me, when I have low energy, I have low energy. And sometimes I drink coffee. I'm not the biggest coffee person anymore, but it's got to be something. If I don't have an energy drink, then I'm going to turn to coffee or tea, green tea, something to get me going. So I just thought about that because I saw the name Gary Coffee. Okay. But just want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Again, I just introduced this tonight. I introduced this new idea of Friday night mud masks. Different, one night it could be like a rose water mud mask. Obviously it's going to look different every time that you come on every Friday night. If I have a Friday night mud mask, it's not going to look like this one because I, Shadow Girl Sherry, do look at myself as a very creative person. So this is the first Friday night mud mask, and this is what it looks like. I didn't get a chance to do a mud mask today, but the idea is I just wanted to introduce this idea tonight, Friday night mud mask on during this Friday energy that aligns with the goddess Venus. Okay, and I've already read, the energy that goes along with Venus. It's all about love, self-love, and beauty and all that. Let me read a little bit here again. Why Friday is perfect for self-care, all that. I'll say it again. Let me look at this. Okay. Venus versus Aphrodite, the Friday alignment. Okay. Venus is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and prosperity. So on Fridays, if you don't want to do Friday night mud mask or whatever, say you just wake up in the morning or whatever and you have some time, you could look in the mirror and say affirmations, whatever. The idea is to just feel beautiful. Look in the mirror, just, I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, whatever, right? But keep it positive, okay? And again, Venus is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and prosperity. Now, her Greek counterpart, or I think I'm using the right word, would be Aphrodite. So when it comes to the Roman goddess is Venus. Venus is the Roman goddess of love, beauty, fertility, and prosperity, while Aphrodite is the Greek goddess of love, beauty, pleasure, and passion. So you could the idea is you can work with these energies on Fridays. Like, that energy is very intense on Fridays. It's out there for you to work with in a very potent way on Fridays. You can do it any day, but Friday is the day. It's very, very special. And, if you don't, believe me, just look it up. It's all over. It's all over, the information about it. But I hope that you definitely will come and join me and, on Friday nights, if I'm having a Friday night mud mask, like hangout. And, I'll be talking about the energy of these goddesses. I'll most likely mention their names and a little bit about them. And then from there, the idea is to come and relax, put the mud mask on your face if you really want to, or if you just want to come and hang out and talk about, the mud mask, the ingredients, all different kinds of things like that. And then sometimes it may just be that I'll talk a little bit about the goddesses. I might talk about a little bit about love and all that, because they're about love and all that. But the idea is just consider that mud mask because it's relaxing. You might look at it as a bit of a, when we were teenagers, you had pajama parties. It was always fun to have a pajama party on a Friday night and wake up with your friends on a Saturday, whatever. But just to hang out with your girlfriends or your guy friends. Maybe when it comes to guys, I don't know. Maybe you might do a mud mask. It's guys, come and hang out with me. There are mud masks for guys, right? There are. Come and hang out with me. But I'm thinking about when the young teenage like boys get together. Okay, what would it be? What video game night? I guess. Guys, it's Friday night mud mask. We're all hanging out. If this were like a little bit of a pajama party or whatever, just use your imagination. What kind of food would you want to be eating right now? Guys, I'm just trying to get you guys to just feel comfortable, leave something in the comments, whatever. And guys, I'm still trying to figure out how to add my Cash App. And my Cash App is Shadow Girl Sherry. If you want to add to the channel. So I got to take a drink. I'm losing my voice here. But guys, I just have so many different ideas that I want to bring to light. And when you donate or you add to my Cash App, obviously you don't have to. Just come and hang out with me, Friday Night Mud Mask, whatever. But just know that when you do that, you're helping me to grow the channel. Because guys, I'm telling you, I have so many different ideas that I want to work with. Guys, I'm a Gemini. And Geminis have a lot of thoughts, right? A lot of thoughts running around through their heads. And I'm definitely a Gemini. I have so many different ideas that I want to bring to light with you guys. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you'll choose to like, click, share, subscribe, all those different things. And don't just join me here on TikTok. My main channel, Sunset Songs, is over on YouTube. There are so many different channels that go by the name Sunset Songs. But my channel is distinct because it's about the law of attraction, where I tie in the idea of a sunset song where I tailor a song around whatever the subject matter is that I'm talking about in that particular episode. Right? Tonight I didn't have a song, but if you have a song that's playing in your mind, whatever, you've been, playing it, thinking about it, whatever, you want to play for your significant other soon, whatever, you want to slow dance, whatever. Guys, leave it here in the comments. I'm always wanting to build the playlist. And right now I have a playlist over on my channel, Sunset Songs. When once my lives go over an hour, once a live here on TikTok goes over an hour, it's no longer just like ticking and talking. The idea of TikTok is really to get on, tick and talk and say what you got to say real quick and, the faster, whatever. But this is a live and, I'm talking. So it's gone. I usually go over an hour. And with that being said, once you go over an hour, you can't include the live in its entirety on TikTok. So I'll include clips. And when I make those clips, I'm going to let you know what you're looking for when you go over to my channel, Sunset Songs. You're going to see what it basically looks like when you're looking for my channel, Sunset Songs. And you could go and watch any of my like little clips here, and it's going to show, me, my silhouette. But when you see the Sunset Songs, that's basically kind of like the layout that you're looking for. It's a circle. And in that circle, and think about it, a circle could stand for the sun or the moon. Because when you think about a sunset, you start the day with the sun, but as the day goes by, you have a sunset. And then after you have the sunset, then you have the moon. But both are circular. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. It's a circle. And the colors that I pick for the Sunset Songs, the words are pink and orange. So that's the color of the words that you're looking for, Sunset Songs. And then when you listen to the video, obviously you get started, you get into the opening of the video, you've clicked on, you're listening. Obviously I'm going to introduce myself as Shadow Girl Sherry. So, and that's how you know you got the right one. So, guys, again, I'm still trying to add my Cash App up here, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Isn't this crazy? That I'm such a techna, and that's being a techna dummy, I'll call myself. I'm trying to figure out how to add my Cash App here, and let me see if I can figure it out. I have it written here on my iPad. How to do it. So, but I'm still trying to just keep talking to you guys as I'm doing it. That's why I haven't added it so far. But again, basically what my Cash App is, it's Shadow Girl Sherry. That's what you're looking for if you want to send anything to my Cash App. And whatever you send is very, very appreciated. So, yeah, I didn't. Oh, tap your live chat box. Okay, let's see. Well, I just hearted. I just added a heart. Okay, I liked my own live. I just added hearts to my own live. So tap your live chat box at the bottom of the screen, just like you're typing, and type out your tag. Okay, all right. So let's see here. Okay, maybe this is it. Maybe this is how, guys. Maybe this is how I do it. I'm gonna try it. Okay, I'm gonna try it. This is gonna be the first time of me doing this. I hope you obviously you'll know what's going on when you see this. I should have did this all along. Okay. Okay, and okay, so I think that's I've added it the best way I know how, for now. But that is my Cash App. It is Shadow Girl Sherry. So again, whenever if you want to donate, it's very, very much appreciated. But either way, guys, I want to thank everybody for joining me. I see a Betty has joined me. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Betty, so much for joining me tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining me tonight. Again, this was so random. I shouldn't say random because I've had this idea in my thoughts for a while to introduce this idea of Friday night mud masks. Okay. And I'm going to quickly say it again. You know, what's the idea behind this? Whenever I go live, whenever, it's a Friday night, whenever a Friday night rolls around and I don't have a subject that I want to come and talk about, that, I've, come up with a sunset song. I've found out, the information about the sunset song. And obviously, what is a sunset song? I'm going to say it again. My channel is called Sunset Songs. With that being said, every time I go live or make a video, whatever, whether it's live or not, I try for the most part. I didn't succeed tonight. I didn't do it tonight, but I try to think up a song in my mind, whatever, come up with a song that is tailored around whatever the subject matter is that I'm going to be talking about in that particular episode. So let's see. I'm trying to think about the last time I went live was actually on it was last time I went live before this live was Friday. No, it was July the 4th, Independence Day, right? And I didn't necessarily have a sunset song, but the thing about it was, does anybody know who Barry White is? Does anybody know who Barry White is? Barry White was, when I think about Barry White, I think about grown folks music, right? And Barry White, I believe it may have been in the year 2003. I think it was 2003. Don't quote me, but you can look it up if you want. But either way, Barry White passed away on a July the 4th. Okay. And with that being said, last year on July the 4th, I made a real short kind of a video where I talked a little bit about Barry White. Okay. And when Independence Day came around, July the 4th came around, I remembered the fact what I was doing last year for July the 4th. And I had been invited to a cookout just like I was this year, but there was something that kept me from going to the cookout. It was a family member wasn't feeling the best, and I had to look out look after my family member, right? And I didn't want to take her out in the heat and everything like that. So I missed out on all the wonderful hot dogs and the hamburgers. And believe me, like when I go to a family cookout, everything's there. Everything's there. It's good food, all that. And hey, my channel's called Sunset Songs. When I go to a cookout, a family cookout, family reunion, whatever like that, there's always good music, right? And but I don't think I've ever went to a family cookout or barbecue or family reunion where Barry White played, right? Like there was a Barry White song that played. But Barry White was somebody, to me, very popular when it comes to grown folks music. Okay. His music has been featured on the video game series Grand Theft Auto. Okay. What were the songs by Barry White that were featured? It's Only Love, okay, featured on Grand Theft Auto. Now, It's Only Love was also covered by another group, and I've said it before, did another group that did a version of the song It's Only Love was Simply Red, okay? Simply Red did a version of the song It's Only Love, and then Barry White did a version of it. I don't know. I think Barry may have had the first version, and then Simply Red came up with the version. And I said it the last time I went live, that the thing that gets to me about Simply Red and Barry White. Okay, Barry White was a black man, African American man, right? And very popular when it comes to grown folks music, right? But Barry White was an African American man, and then he had the name White, right? Okay, and Simply Red is a group, right? And the lead singer, they called them, the group is called Simply Red because the lead singer is a Caucasian, a white man, right? Caucasian white man, okay. But he has red hair. And the thing about it is, a lot of Simply Red, like, this is a white man, a Caucasian man, but anytime I had ever heard a song by Simply Red, one song that I remember was really popular by Simply Red, you would hear the song. Not only would you just hear it like on a radio, like other radio stations, but there was a song by Simply Red called Holding Back the Years. Holding Back the Years was, you could play that on like what would be like you would think of as an African American radio station that's really, you think about, okay, tailored around African American music, right? Okay, not to say that's the only music, but you get what I'm saying, all right? And that song, Holding Back the Years, could, used to play on, the African American like radio stations a lot. And when I would hear that song, Holding Back the Years by Simply Red, I always thought that it was an African American man singing that song. And then I'll never forget the first time I actually saw the video and I saw, the lead singer, the Simply Red, I was so surprised to find out that this was a white man, a Caucasian man with red hair. Okay. Why? Because he has such a soulful voice. And you know what they call that? They call it blue-eyed soul. Okay. And I would definitely say that Simply Red, fits that criteria. Blue-eyed soul. Another person that I think about when it comes to blue-eyed soul would be like Tina Marie. If you thought about a female, would definitely be Tina Marie. But basically, guys, I just wanted to tell you what the last sunset song I had. The last time I went live, I didn't have a sunset song, but I talked about Barry White and I mentioned different songs that he sang. Like, does anybody know who Barry White is? If you could say in the comments that you know who Barry White is. Do you like Barry White? Did you enjoy his music? Do you know any of his songs? If you could include it here in the comments, it would be very, very much appreciated. I am definitely a Barry White fan, okay? He's gone, but he's definitely not forgotten, okay? And just know that whenever you come and hang out with me, whether it be for a Friday night mud mask or whatever, and I pick a sunset song 1 week could be a Barry White song. And then the next time I go live, it could be, the first time I went live, I picked a song by Madonna. Okay. It could be anything. Don't look at it and think about color. Don't think about, okay, well, Shadow Girl Sherry's African American, so she can't like a country song. Or I have to admit that I'm not really big on country, but there are country songs that I like. And if you, as a viewer, give me the suggestion, to go listen to a country song, I'm going to go listen to that country song. But with that being said, guys, guys, I thank you guys so much for joining me. I see a JR 1955 has joined me. Guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight for this very first Friday night mud mask. But right now, I've got to let you guys know, if you've tuned into my other any of my other lives, you already know that, I don't live alone. I have family that I love very, very much. And, I don't live alone. I have family, I love my family, you know what I mean? But I have, family that I live with. I don't live alone. And, right now, it's a Friday night, but at the same time, some Friday nights or any night, whatever, there's sometimes where we stay up and we watch movies together and things like that. But I do have a family member that, has, a lot of times likes to go to bed a little bit earlier. It's 10:44 right now, and, that family member wants to go to bed right now. So, unfortunately, I'm going to be having to shut this live down. But guys, I want to let you guys know that I'm so thankful for each and every one of you guys. I hope that you will choose to follow me here on TikTok. And when you follow me here on TikTok, I hope that you'll choose to go ahead and follow me on YouTube as well. I can't wait till I get to the point where when I'm streaming on TikTok, I'm also streaming, I'm going live on not only TikTok, but I'm going live on YouTube as well. I also want to get to the point where I'm expanding to other platforms. I can't wait to do that, right? I see a TJ has joined me. Thank you so much, TJ, for joining me. I see a JR 1955 has joined me. I see a Betty still hanging out with me. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to get ready and close this Friday night mud mask down. But I want to let you guys know, how much fun I've had for this first time. This is just going to be the thing that is going to be for Friday nights. I'm going to try to come up with something for every night of the week, that if I don't have a subject to talk about, then that's going to be my fallback plan and my excuse to come and hang out with you guys. Because, I love hanging out with you guys so much. You bring so much light to my life, really. I go by the name Shadow Girl Sherry, but, shadow work and all that is about bringing things to light and, bringing things to light. And you guys just don't know how much light and just you bring to my life, right? Really. And, I'll quickly say this, that every time I go live right now, even right now, every time I go live, unless I'm, filming somewhere where, if I'm in my car or something like that, I do that occasionally. I've got a candle lit right now, and that is just every time I have a specific candle that I work with, and as that candle burns down, I'm burning that, and I'm making videos, and the candle is for you, it's for me, and it's all about us manifesting our desires and our best lives. And, I love looking at the candle as it burns down as I talk. And, when I put the candle out, I get to work with it during the day or whatever, but I'm always thinking about you guys. I see a Letty has joined me. Thank you so much, Letty, for joining me tonight. but I try to keep to the same candle, and the idea is to burn it all the way down to the bottom. And you know, there's going to be some time where I'm going to come and tell you guys the way that you can really burn it all the way down to the bottom. I learned it as like a bit of a ritual. It was a get together that I went to for a full moon. It was a full moon hangout that I went to. It was a community like hangout, and I had so much fun at the community it was a full moon hangout. I had so much fun, and sometime I'm going to come back and I'm going to share with you guys the ritual that we did that night. We had petitions and all that different stuff. And if you're watching this video, you're into kind of what you think, whatever, you probably already know what a petition is, but it's not necessarily that I have a petition tonight. I just have a candle, and then like I might write something and then put it under the candle. But the whole idea is whenever I go live, I have that candle burning. And whenever you guys choose to like, click, share, subscribe, you really are keeping that candle going, because you're letting me know that you're enjoying it. You're enjoying my videos. You're enjoying my lives. It's very encouraging. And again, the very first time I went live, I started out with a candle, and I even had a picture of the candle and the setup and everything. And the very first song I picked was, I believe it was "Express Yourself" by Madonna, because the very first time I went live, it was during the Lionsgate's portal. And the Lionsgate's portal right now, I believe, is open, because, you know, it's July and we're moving into that energy of August. But when you get off this live right now, go and look up what the Lionsgate's portal is. The energy, if we're not in it right now, it's said to be, we're etching up to it. All right. And it's said to be a time where, if you believe in portals and stuff like that, it's an intense energy to work with. Money, all that different stuff. It's a manifestation window. So you can go ahead and look it up when this live ends. And I want to thank Tony A for joining me. I want to thank Bridget for joining me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. But you might want to go and look that up. But the very first time I went live, I started out with a candle. And you know, I had it in the picture, everything, and it was a real candle that I was working with, right? That I started my lives with, and I started, with this community. And I burn it thinking about you guys, and thinking about myself, thinking about you guys and the community that I'm building, right? And that first time, the candle wasn't lit. But the idea was, I was so nervous about going live, but my idea was, okay, as nervous as I am, whatever, it was the height of the Lionsgate's portal, which is the 8th month, 8th day, August the 8th, is the height of the portal. That's when the energy is said to be most intense. Okay, and go ahead and look it up when, if you want to, after this live ends, which is going to be in just a little bit. Okay, and I'm looking at the name Tony. That makes me think about Tony the tiger, because tigers are part of the, the cat family, and, lion energy and all that. But just go ahead and look up the Lionsgate's portal if you want to know more about it. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to do something for the Lionsgate's portal. But the very first time I went live was on the height of the Lionsgate's portal, which was the 8th month, 8th day. Okay, and you see those number 8s. And the number 8 deals with abundance. Okay, I'd talk about it more, but I don't have enough time tonight. But it deals with abundance when you deal with that number 8. Okay, it's actually my life path number, and I love it. But anyhow, so the very first time I went live, that live is over on my YouTube channel. I want to get to the point where I have a number so whenever I mention a video, you can look up the number and then you can go and watch it. But basically, the very first time I went live, I was so nervous about going live, right? But I took a chance, and I'm like, I'm going to do it for the Lionsgate's portal. Okay, so my idea was, I had a picture of the candle and everything, and had all these things that were gold and everything, gold color. It may have been a gold eyeliner. Everything was beautiful and gold, and lion and all that kind of stuff in that picture, all right? And I had that candle. The candle in that first video was not lit. And my idea was, I wanted everybody, whoever joined the live, to see the candle. And that was where I was starting from. And the idea was, I was so nervous, but the idea was, okay, if I get on and I go live right now, this first time, and I get at least one person to come and listen to me, the idea is, you lit that candle. And the next time I go live, and it happened, I believe maybe I had 13 people, which 13 is the magical feminine number, okay? You can look that up as well. Okay, they try to say Friday the 13th is such a bad thing. Well, since I've gotten into spirituality and all that, I've learned different ideas. But the number 13, okay? Now, after I went live that first time, I believe it was 13 people that joined me. If it had have only been one person that joined me, the idea was the next time I was going to go live, the candle was, you would see the candle, but it would be lit. And that's what happened because, somebody joined me. I believe it was 13 people joined me. So that gave me the permission and let me know that, okay, I'm not the only person that's thinking these thoughts and is trying to be positive and trying to work towards my goals, right? So I'm building a community here, but it's got to start somewhere. So I took that candle, I lit it, and then I kept working with it. Now, I got to admit, that candle got to the point where it wasn't lighting, but I still have the candle, and I know how to get it to work again. I've just got to do that. But the idea is when I have these candles is to burn it all the way to the bottom. And once I burn a candle all the way to the bottom, I'm going to come and ask you guys, has something manifested for you? Was there something that was once out into like the thought realm, whatever? You were just thinking about it, the fifth dimension, really. Okay, but right now you have it. Because we're manifesting here together as a collective. That's the idea. But it all started with that one candle. And the idea is every time I go live, I try, and it usually happens, try to have a sunset song, and I also try to have a candle lit. And right now I have a candle lit. And the idea is to have it burn all the way down to the bottom. And sometime I'm going to come back and share with you how to do a little bit of a ritual where the whole candle burns all the way down, because I learned it at a community full moon night. It was so much fun. I had so much fun. We had snacks, there was wine, it was so much fun. But anyhow, guys, again, I want to thank everybody for joining me. I see a C has joined me. Thank you so much, C, for joining me. Thank you, everybody that joined me tonight. But I'm going to have to be shutting this live down because, again, I don't live alone. And, everybody, at least one person wants to go to bed, okay? Not everybody wants to hang out, and stay up all night, what I mean, on a Friday night. But this was my very first time having Friday night mud mask. And I've already said what the idea of a Friday night mud mask. If ever I decide it's a Friday night and I want to go live and I have nothing else to talk about, my go-to or fallback plan is to have what I'm going to call a Friday night mud mask. And the idea is just taken from the idea, expanding from the idea that on Fridays align with the energy of Venus and the planet Venus and the goddess Venus, the goddess Aphrodite. They're all about love, luxury, those kind of things. So when you come and you join me for Friday Night Mud Mask, that's what it's all about. Working with that energy. We're going to have discussion, might talk about love, romance, might talk about a movie, whatever. But the idea is to, mix up a mud mask and put it on. You might want to do the mud mask. You might want to just come and just hang out, and I'll have the mud mask on, or somebody's going to have a mud mask on. But I see a Tim Fish has joined me. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I do apologize that I'm going to have to be shutting this live down. But guys, if you've enjoyed this, please, I hope that you will choose to like, click, share, subscribe. If you want to leave something in my Cash App, my Cash App is Shadow Girl Sherry. And if you want to leave me a heart, whatever, leave it here. But I hope that you will choose to like, click, share, subscribe. Whenever you do this, you are letting the algorithm know that you enjoyed Friday Night Mud Mask, or I gave you a new idea, or you like the sunset song, or you're just trying to help me. We're building a community of a law of attraction community where we are thinking positive. And when negative thoughts and negative things happen, what are we doing? We're transmuting that energy into something better. Okay. If you have a problem, you have the problem so that you can come up with a solution. And when you have that solution, if it's a really good solution, you can take that solution and share it with other people. And if it's really, really good and it's a really big problem, you possibly make money off of it. That's just an idea. So anyhow, guys, this is going to be Shadow Girl Sherry. I got to figure out how to shut down the live because I have a tendency to forget things. But again, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. But this is going to be Shadow Girl Sherry trying to figure out how to shut this live down. Again, I see some names. I see C join me. I see a Tim Fish join me. I see Betty is still hanging out with me. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight on this Friday night. I had so much fun this first time for Friday Night Hangout. Again, it made another Friday night. I may have a subject to talk about, and it's not Friday Night Mud Mask, but you get the idea. It's an excuse to come and hang out with you guys because I love you guys. So this is going to be Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. Let me figure out how to do this. Okay. I'm going to tap this and then I'm going to be exiting. Guys, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I would love, it says please stay. All your viewers genuinely appreciate you. That's what TikTok has let me know. Unfortunately, again, guys, I appreciate you guys as well. Thank you so much. But this is going to be Shadow Girl Sherry, unfortunately, having to sign out because I don't live alone and, you know, I got to be respectful. But, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. And come hang out with me again. Join me. Like, click, share, subscribe. And join me on my channel on YouTube. Look for the right one, though. Sunset Songs. And when you click on there, obviously, my channel is about the law of attraction. And you're going to hear me come out and introduce myself as this is Shadow Girl Sherry and taking it from there. Because there's lots of different Sunset Songs on. I'm not the only channel that's called Sunset Songs on YouTube. But I can't wait till I get to the point where when I'm going live on TikTok, I'm live streaming on both TikTok and YouTube. It's coming. I just got to figure out how to do it. So guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. And again, thank you. I love you guys and good night and take care. And guys, think positive, okay? And if it's negative, we're going to work it out, okay? I love you guys. Good night and happy Friday night and take care. This is Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. Good night and take care.